بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Hazrat Abu Sa'id Khudri radiallahu anhu is among the Ansar, famous Sahabi. His name was Sa'ad ibn Malik radiallahu anhu. He narrates that one day Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was walking in Medina, and he passed by a group of Sahaba who were digging a grave. They were digging a qabr. He asked them that, whose qabr are you digging? They said, Ya Rasulullah, there is a man from Abyssinia who just arrived in Medina, and as soon as he arrived, he died. Now we know Abyssinia today is part of Africa. That is what we refer to as Ethiopia. So this man was from Ethiopia. He came to Medina, and soon thereafter he passed away. So we're burying him. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam heard this, he says, La ilaha illallah, sabaqa min ardihi ila turbati allati khuliqa minha. He says, La ilaha illallah was his expression of amazement. It is amazing that this man left the place of his birth to come and be buried in the sand from which he was created. The sand from which he was created. So this is a mas'ala we learn here, that when a person dies, where he's buried, he was created from that very sand. And that is why those Sahaba who were buried in Medina, and especially Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhuma, they were buried next to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they were created from that very sand. And what does it mean? Now understand this nicely. They are buried next to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the law by Allah is, you are created from the sand, or you are buried in the sand from which you are created. So if Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is buried there, it means he was created from that sand. And if Abu Bakr and Umar are buried next to him, they were created from the very same sand of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is mentioned in the hadith. He says one of the virtues of the Shaykhain. Shaykhain means Abu Bakr and Umar, that we share the same sand in our creation. I'll mention, inshallah, if we have time, how does this come about. But from this we see that a person will die in the land from which he was created. That's why in the Quran Kareem, where Allah speaks about the 5 things that only Allah knows, Inna Allah indu ilmu sa'a wa yunazzilul ghayth, the time of Qiyamah, the rain that will come, wa ya'lamu ma fil arham, what is in the wombs of the mothers, and then wa ma tadri nafsum bi ayyi ardin tamut, that no soul knows where it shall die. Allah doesn't say you don't know when you will die. He says you don't know where you will die. Another hadith sharif tells us that if a person has to die in a certain place and is not living there, Allah will make some reason for him, some excuse for him to go to that place, even if he doesn't want to. And he will go there, and there he will meet his death. That is why I'm sure I've experienced this with many people. You must have experienced that some people, they want to go somewhere. And people will tell them, look, don't go, you don't need to go. What's the need to go? They say, no, I must go there. I have to go. And here they come and they pass away. So we don't know where one will die. There are people who lived in Makkah Mukarramah for many years. And then they left to go and visit relatives somewhere. I know of a person, many, many years ago. He came from Makkah. He lived 25 years in Makkah. He came to South Africa and he died in Johannesburg. And then you have people that lived all the years in South Africa. They go and die in Makkah or in Medina Sharif. So we don't know where we will die, but it is from that place where we were created, the sand was used. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam then expressed this surprise that, look how Allah Ta'ala, the system of Allah Ta'ala, that He takes you, He makes some reason for you to go to that place. And of course, the soils of Medina are Mubarak, blessed. If you are created from that soil, of course, it's a very great thing. In another hadith sharif, now this explains, it explains how, what does it mean? How does it come about? How does it work that you are created from the sand? We know that Allah Ta'ala created Nabi Adam alayhi salam from sand. But every subsequent human being, all the human beings that are born, they're not born from sand, they're not created from sand, they're created from the drop of sperm that enters the womb of the mother. So here the hadith sharif explained, another hadith, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, and these are authentic ahadith. So we believe in that. He says when Allah Ta'ala, when a man and a woman, the mother, the father, husband, wife comes together, and then the sperm enters the womb of the wife. And then Allah Ta'ala sends an angel. And the angel takes that sperm. Then he asks Allah a question. The first question he asks, he says, مُخَلَّقَةٌ أَمْ غَيْرُ مُخَلَّقَةٍ? Will this be a full creation, Ya Allah, or will it be not a full creation? In other words, will this sperm go on to become a complete child, or will it be incomplete? If Allah says غَيْرُ مُخَلَّقَةٍ, then that sperm will start, there will be conception, it will grow, and eventually the woman will miscarriage, and the child will come out in the form of flesh or blood. So that's غَيْرُ مُخَلَّقَةٍ. That means it's not a complete creation. If Allah says مُخَلَّقَةٍ, that means a complete creation, then the process starts. Now the angel asks, Ya Allah, what will be the risk of this child, of this human being? What will be the time when this person will die? What will be the a'mal of this person? Will it be good or bad? Then Allah Ta'ala will instruct this angel that you must go to the Lawh Mahfuz. At a certain place you will see all the details. It's like the whole file of this human being is there. You see all the details. And then the angel writes everything down. Now the angel takes that nutfa, that sperm, and he goes and gets sand where Allah Ta'ala instructs him to. And he mixes that sand with that sperm. And that is now allowed to become a fetus in the womb of the mother. So this is how that sand, it is upon the instruction of Allah. So if the sand is from Medina, it means that person is going to die in Medina. If it is from Makkah, it is from America, from China, that sand is mixed with that sperm, and that is what determines where that human being will die. Now, there's a few other things we'll mention, inshallah, later. But you might ask now that how does this come about? How does it happen? The sand mixing with the sperm. We don't see this. So remember, this is all the qudrat of Allah. There are a lot of things that we don't see in this world, but we believe it. I can tell you one thing now, the last 1.5 years, we've been believing in something that we haven't even seen. No one has seen the virus. Ask anyone, has he seen the virus? No one has seen the virus, but we believe, the scientists say, and they tell you such crazy things about this virus, that it can change, it can mutate and become something else, and it become into different forms. We just believe everything. So if we believe the scientist who doesn't even know whether he is certain of his research or not, why can't we believe in the one who created all these things? The scientists never created that virus. They study this and they make their own conclusions. Allah created this nutfa, the sperm. He created that human being. So he's saying that you were created from sand. That sand was mixed with the sperm, and that sand came from the place where you will be buried. So this tells us that just like the time is uncertain, the place where one will die is also uncertain. And that's why you find a lot of people, they travel to different places. Some people never travel in their lives, and they decide to travel somewhere, and then they meet their maut. So this is entirely in the taqdeer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What we must do is to make sure we continue living a life of a'mal. When maut comes, doesn't matter where it comes. If it comes, we die with iman, and with strong iman, with strong Islam, with a'mal of deen. Allah Ta'ala grant us such an ending.
Sorry, I want to ask you, like, lot of people coming from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, those countries, they're coming in, for example, in South Africa or wherever he's going, passed away. Then now it's like some of people, they send it back, their body. They should bury you same place? Or
Yes, they can't send. It's wrong to send the body to different places.
Like this you say, this means, for
Yes.
example, if I die in South Africa, I'm supposed to be buried here because
Yeah.
my scent is coming from Jazza.
Definitely.